What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to a new YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another anime review. We did take a look at Season 1 of The Devil is a Part-Timer a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago. I don't remember, and we did do quite a few LEGO customs for it as well, and now I have finally finished Season 2, which had another 12 episodes to it, and it is a pretty weird one because they did go through an animation change with this one, but there is also double the amount, which I feel like they didn't really need because there was a lot more filler in this season 2 than there was in the original. But we must go to Google as we always do. We always take a look at Google and what the ratings are before I get into my own ratings and reasons to why I like it and why I don't. And with that, let's head over to Google, and it's the same as in season 1, but we will read it again just to catch you back up. So the Demon Lord and his general escape Entai Isla and arrive in modern Tokyo, where the lack of magic in the world leads him to take on a part-time job at a fast food restaurant called McDonald's, or McDonald's, whatever you want to call it. It's a McDonald's knockoff. But season 2 starts off with a baby showing up. They have a baby, and it is apparently Mao's and Emily's baby. Yep, Emily and Mao have a child now, and that brings in a load more jokes with them two not getting along, and the main villain actually shows up, coming looking for this child, and the main villain is actually Angel Gabriel, or Archangel Gabriel, and that is pretty much it. He's a pretty chill villain, to be fair. He doesn't do all that much, and he isn't all too threatening, but he's constantly trying to, like, attack them. And then we have a load of filler, which is just them guys coming through and just attacking, like, for no reason. We just have a load of demons coming through and causing trouble, and that's it. That's it for, like, the next 20 episodes. There is no sort of decency or consistency. It's just them fighting more demons, meeting more characters, those characters leave, and that's it. That is just the plot for the next couple of times. They go to the beach, meet a new hero, meet a couple of new demons, they leave, they go try and get a motorcycle license, they meet a few heroes, they meet a few villains, they leave, they try and get another job, they try and buy a TV, villains appear, the villains leave. It's just very repetitive, very slow, and very boring. However, the last 4 episodes do have Amelia going back to Entai Isla and fighting all the demons, and then we have Mao following them and his general getting kidnapped, and that's pretty much it. They all fight the Archangel, they win, they go home, they have a happily ever after. So I feel like they rushed the last 4 episodes, but dragged out all the filler from episode, 4 to 20. It was just so boring, and there was so much going on, and I struggled to keep watching, I'm going to be honest. They also changed the art style. They got all the old voice actors back, which I do appreciate, because they all did such a good job the first time round, and there is a load of famous voice actors here, which you'll find in pretty much everything else. But I do like the voice actors, and I'm glad that they got them all back, because this was made, quite a few years after the original. But the animation changed, and for the first few episodes, you had to get used to it, so that's why I feel like they got away with doing quite a bit of filler. But I feel like you could have made this season in 12 episodes. You did not need to stretch it out for 24. There is so many filler episodes which were not needed at all, which I genuinely didn't like. Normally, I don't mind filler, but when your story is 90% filler, that's too much filler. There's no point making the series at that point. They just made this for a quick buck because season 1 did well, so they knew people would watch it. It is technically a slice of life anime, but it's also a fantasy one. But I think it was leaning more into the slice of life for the first couple of bits with the extra steps. But again, it was just boring with how much filler there was. The story was pretty good when it was got going. So I can't complain about the story. It's just they kept going on so many tangents and kept going on so many other side quests, which they really didn't need to do. It's just kind of a waste of your time. I feel like it wastes a lot of your time, with half the shit that it's telling you. And I didn't really appreciate that. There's a lot of fan service in this as well, with the girls wearing bikinis and the girls at very odd angles, which there was very little of in the first season. And I feel like that also ruined it in the second season, took away from it. because it tried to like appeal to everyone and get all the fan service that it could out of the characters, which again is still strange, but hey, that's what happens when anime gets popular. And other than that, the voice actors, they're good voice actors. They're in a lot of other stuff. They've had a lot of practice. They've been in this business for a while. There's no new voice actors that I've seen. There's no like anyone special. It's just all the usual like characters that we see, all the usual voice actors that we know and love. And they're good at it. They're good at doing the emotions. They're good at doing it. They've been in the game for a long time. It's just the story is so slow and so boring. I can't get over it. I can't get over how slow and boring it is all the fucking time. Each character gets their own episode to themselves, talking about what they're doing and what they're like, and like just going to buy a TV. And they continue the same jokes as last time. They overuse the joke of Lucifer being like an indoor hermit. He's constantly getting shit on. He's constantly buying from Jungle, and they're constantly leaning on him for like jokes. And they even make the same jokes as season one. And it's not funny. It was boring after the first 3 times you used it. Stop using it. They used it like another 10 times. And then Emily and Mao constantly arguing as well. That is just constant, like, in your ear. It's in your face that they're not friends, but then it also shows you them being nice to each other and instantly switches up. It's just annoying. It's all it is. All season 2 was a quick cash grab, which was annoying, and it wasn't needed. I feel like they could have left it at season 1, and that would have been a good anime. I feel like season 2 brought down the anime by a lot. And saying he's a part-timer, he barely spent any time in McDonald's this time. Like, it's called McRonald's, but I'm gonna call it McDonald's. He barely fucking worked this season. He was like not in work because they were having a renovation, which they barely showed us. Like, it was probably to try and make it new, exciting, and interesting, but they barely showed us it. It was here like twice, and that was it. So I feel like the renovation was pointless and wasn't like needed. It just gave them an excuse to go to other places and sort of do things there. Because they went to a beach and they went to a farm and they went to buy a TV. That is all I remember from the series. Like, I don't remember who they came with, like, who they met there, because once they left, they never had contact with them again. Like, there was a really cool bird character with a really cool bird design, but he was only there for, like, what, 10 minutes of overall screen time? And then there's a weird gorilla guy that showed up at school to control the weather, which actually, that was when the story started coming back. Like, that's where the story started getting back into it, because that's where they tried to steal Ashia. And that's where it got interesting again. When they got back to the story and they wasn't fucking switching location every 2-3 episodes, it was good. It was genuinely good. The like 4 episodes of story that we got were interesting and actually made me want to watch, and I actually put my phone down for. But the other like 20 to 16 were boring as shit, because like nothing of interest happened. It didn't progress the story in any way, shape, or form. I think we got 1 lore drop out of like all 18 episodes, that Emily's dad was still alive, and like Mao has another sword. But they surrounded it with such boring shit that I didn't really care at that point, that I wasn't shocked, and I was barely watching, but I heard it and I'm like, oh cool, Emily's dad's still alive, wow. But it was supposed to be like this big thing which changed her character because she no longer had a purpose. And then, like, the pink-haired girl has magic now. I don't know if I wasn't watching close enough because of how boring it was, but she has magic and she can, like, speak to them telepathically now, which I didn't know and didn't expect. I thought this world had no magic. I don't know, but I've been shitting on this series for long enough. I think it is terrible. I think season 2 is shit and didn't need to be made. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10, because they changed the animation style. I didn't like their new designs. I know it's only slight differences, but it's very off-putting and jarring to go straight from season 1 to 2. And the story was pointless, and the good bits were few and far between. So it deserves a 3 out of 10. I'm glad that I watched it. I will never watch it again, and I'm not going to recommend it to you. I wish I never watched season 2. I wish I just left it at season 1, because that was good. But because of how good season 1 was, it made me have to go and watch season 2. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day. Hope you all stay home and stay safe. And bye-bye.